In my travels and the phone calls that I've made in the last even 6 months, I have learned the importance of having the three trust accounts. Now, one of them is a God trust, and that should be in our. See, part of this is I'm going through a language study right now. So I'm restudying the styles manuals. I'm
Yes.
studying English language as it relates to Latin and as it relates to Hebrew. And as we do that, I learn more and more every time I work through this. I learn more and more that the English language is nothing more than Babel. It was designed and modified as we regressed. I'm not going to say progressed because we didn't. We regressed. Letters were added to the language, things were added to the language to make us dumber than we at one time were in regard to language. And that language keeps us enslaved. So, as I'm studying it, I'm learning that a man was spelled in ancient works like Phoenician, Egyptian, Hebrew, ancient works. A man's name was in all lowercase. In all lowercase, he was with God. Very interesting. Our modern Bibles changed that. They capitalized the first letter of people's names, taking it into proper persona, which means the man on the land. So that the land jurisdiction is different from the air. So our all lowercase name is really our God trust name.
Yep.
Our proper name is our upper and lowercase name. That is the jurisdiction of the land. That deals in property and ownership. A man owns his wife and children. Now, that sounds kind of funny in today's world, but he's responsible for them. He's a patriarch. They're his property. They should property should be treated with good stewardship. In other words, not abused, not used, not defiled, not uh, anyway. That's enough adjectives. And we need to treat our wives and our children with respect. They're our property. Our home is our property. Our belongings is our property. Our automobile that you worked for and slaved for with your labor, went out and bought, should be yours. But what happens is you go buy it, then you register and title it, and you give it to the state. Same with your land. If your land is in an abstracted title, it's the state's land. You gave it away. I don't care what you paid for it. You pay $1 million for a piece of property, go give it to the state. That's what you just did. You gifted it to them. Now the state then has control, and you pay your rent, which is your property taxes to the state. They have control over all the property in the state because you gave it away. You didn't have to give it away. Nobody said you had to. There's provisions for you not giving it away, but you didn't know about it. You just did what you thought was right. And over a long period of time, they convinced us to give everything up since 1933, actually a little before that. And they just started convincing us to give it all up, to give it away. And so that's what we started to do. Is that freedom? Is that sovereignty? No. The people are supposed to be sovereign, not the state. We lend the state our sovereignty when they act under our contract. When they go over and above and act outside of our contract, they lose all immunity and all sovereignty. Every one of these private, for profit state governments have lost their immunity. They've lost their contract. They've abused their powers and authority. They have become corrupt. They are, it's like walking into a to-go restaurant and you see a whole board across there with 100 different items on it. All you want is a hamburger and a milkshake and walk out. That's what you contract for. That's what you agreed to pay for. You ordered it. You paid the fee for that. And it would be like them running your credit card for every item on the menu and forcing you to take it with them. That's government today.
And you don't even get to eat it.
How can you eat that much?
Yeah.
They force so much on you, you can't even stomach it. You can't digest it. You can't eat it. You can't put it all in your mouth. And that's what they're trying to do. You're choking to death.
That's what they're doing. And Jody has a great phrase here. It says, "How do you eat an elephant?" And that's what, if that's what we're up against. So, you know, everybody, we got to have our patience here as well. And it is one bite at a time. And we're going hard. We're going strong.
Well, do you understand?